everyone, and welcome to my BookTubeAthon reading vlog. As per usual, please excuse the lighting, my appearance, everything. I have never participated in BookTubeAthon before. I've tried doing it several times, and frankly this may be another failed attempt, but this time I'm going to really try my best. So I figured I would vlog the experience as well. So I didn't make a TBR video for this, and I don't even have really a TBR planned out. I find that it's best if I just kind of mood read and make it up as I go along and just go through the challenges. But the first challenge was to let a coin toss decide your first read. You pick two books, one is heads, one is tails. You flip a coin, whichever one it lands on is the first book that you read. So I actually did that yesterday so that when I woke up this morning I could just immediately start reading it. So I will insert that footage now. Okay, so it's currently the evening before BookTubeAthon. Please excuse my appearance, but I have my books and I have my coin. Let's figure out what my first read is going to be. So I have my coin. I think this is actually a British coin. It says 10 pence, and on one side we have the Queen and on the other side we have a lion. So that is the coin I'm going to flip. The books I have picked is The Wicked Deep, and this is what I will read if it lands on tails. And then I also have Space Opera, and this is what I will read if it lands on heads. So, let's go. Bling. Tails! So, I read The Wicked Deep. So I woke up bright and early this morning and I started The Wicked Deep. It's currently about 1 in the afternoon and I'm about 102 pages into this. And I think it's only about 300 pages long, so I have that much left. I'm pretty confident I will be able to finish it before the end of today. Anyways, that is all for now. I will update you guys later. Okay, so it is now about 7 o'clock at night and I am looking not so great, but I think I have devised a plan to make holding my giant camera a little bit easier because I've got my elbow propped up on my knee as like a little makeshift tripod. Anyways, I have just been sitting in my bed for the past 2 hours just reading because I didn't really read at all after I filmed earlier today. So I am currently 206 pages into The Wicked Deep. I only have that much left, or that much left, depending on which way you hold it. And so now I thought I would take this time to tell you a little bit about this book and my thoughts on it, because that is something I often forget to do when I do these reading vlogs. So I have mentioned a couple of times on my channel before that I am not the biggest fan of siren stories, and by not the biggest fan I mean like not at all. Most of the siren stories I've ever read, which is probably like less than 3, I've not liked most of them, and so I tend to just steer clear of them. And honestly, like whenever I hear a plot that is a siren plot, it just does not interest me in the slightest. So I didn't really know what this book was about when I picked it up. I thought it was about witches, which technically it is. So basically we follow this girl who lives in this town, and in this town it's kind of like an urban legend, except it's like real, where 200 years previous, I think, there were these 3 girls in this town, these 3 sisters, and everyone thought that they were witches, so they drowned them in the ocean. And so now every year on that day they come back out of the ocean and they inhabit the souls, or they inhabit the bodies of 3 girls, and then they lure a bunch of guys into the water and kill them. So I guess it is about witches, but it is definitely more of a siren plot to it. And I'm not hating it as much as I thought I was going to at first when I actually realized what this was about, because I think because we're not following a siren, and hopefully we are not going to, although that's definitely like a plot device that will happen where a main character finds out that she's a siren and then all this stuff happens, which if that does happen, I can't tell you about it because that would be a spoiler. In fact, I probably shouldn't have said anything that I just did, but so far I would say this book is like at a 3-star, maybe 3.5. I just don't know how I feel about it. It's all kind of mediocre for me. Like, I don't love the characters, like they're definitely not all-time favorite or anything, but I also don't hate them. I feel like I would be a little bit sad if some of them like died or something, although some of them are getting very close to making some very stupid decisions, which I would be angry about if they did make those. But I only have about 100 pages left, and I've heard that the last 100 pages are really, really good. So I'm pretty excited. And yeah, that's probably going to be the last update for today. I'll probably film some little montage bits into tomorrow, so we'll see if I get around to actually finishing this book tonight. Wish me luck. So it is now day 2 of BookTubeAthon. If I look the exact same as yesterday, it's because I always look the exact same. And yes, I am wearing the same sweatshirt. This is like my wear in the evening when it gets a bit colder sweatshirt, but I feel like I don't wear it for a long enough period of time that I have to wash it every time I wear it. If that grosses you out, that's your problem, not mine. But it is like 7 o'clock at night, and I haven't filmed at all today. I also haven't read at all, so that's good. Today has just been a really stressful day, so hopefully I'm gonna get all of my reading in tonight. But I do have a lot of stuff to update you on with my reading, which is very exciting. So, last night I finished The Wicked Deep. One book in one day. This is like the best start I've ever had to a readathon in my life. But I finished this last night, and I may have to rethink my disgust for siren stories because I really enjoyed this. I'd heard people say that the last 100 pages were really good, and they were not wrong. It hits you with all of the plot twists and all of the feels, and I loved every second of it. I ended up giving it 4 stars because the first 200 pages were pretty meh, but the last 100 pages were like a good 4.5 star rating, so I thought 4 would be a good middle ground there. So this completes the challenge of letting a coin toss decide your first read, and I'm also going to use it for the challenge of reading a book with a beautiful spine. So you can't really see because of all the library stuff on it, but it's a really pretty spine. I like the stars and the dark blue and the writing and the font and everything about it. I mean, this book just in general is gorgeous. The cover is like taped to it because it's a library copy, but I know that underneath the dust jacket it's also a really beautiful cover. I definitely think I'm going to pick up an actual copy for myself when I get around to it, or maybe one day this will show up at my library book sale and then I'll buy it for really cheap. So that is my first read for BookTubeAthon done. The next challenge that I have to complete is to read a book about something you want to do. This can be interpreted in many different ways, and maybe I'm stretching it a little bit, but the book I'm going to read for this is Listen to Your Heart by Casey West. I had actually started this book before BookTubeAthon started, and I was hoping to finish it before the readathon began, but I just didn't get around to finishing it, so I'd already read about 75 pages of it before BookTubeAthon starts. Hopefully that doesn't matter too much. It's just 75 pages, so I'm just going to continue on from where I left off. But something that I would like to do, that I'm going to just take a wild guess and say happens in this book, is fall in love. I mean, I've done it many times, it's just never been reciprocated, but yeah, hopefully that happens in this book. But another thing is that in this book, our main character becomes a host for a podcast, which I'd also want to do. Not this kind of podcast where they, like, give advice. My podcast would be more like true crime conspiracy theories kind of stuff, because that's just everything that I love. But yeah, this is the next book that I will pick up. As I said, I was 75 pages into it. I didn't read it all today, so I'm still only 75 pages into it, and I think it's about 325 pages. So let's see how much of this I can knock out tonight before I go to sleep. So yeah, that is all for now. Honestly, this will probably be the only update for today because I'm just going to read and relax. I'll probably light myself a candle and maybe make myself a little cake in a mug because that's a thing that I've been really into lately. And yeah, that is all for now. I will update you guys tomorrow. Hi guys, so it is now day 3 of BookTubeAthon. It's about 1 in the afternoon. This morning I had a dentist appointment and it was raining out, so that's why my makeup is melting off earlier than usual. But yesterday I didn't do much reading at all. As I said, I think I was on page 75 of this book, and now I'm on page 100. So I read about 25 pages at like 10 o'clock at night yesterday. I was just having a bad day, so I didn't really feel like reading, and the last thing I want to do is force myself to read when I don't want to, because that will end me in a reading slump. And I feel like this is usually how my readathons go. Like, the first day is usually very successful, and then it's just downhill from there. But today I'm going to try and get myself back into the mood of like the first day of a readathon where I feel really inspired and motivated. So I'm going to light a candle. I also went to a Bath & Body Works today because they had a candle on sale. So I got Leaves, which is one of my favorite candle scents. They got out all of their fall and autumn scents, which are my favorite. Fall is my favorite time of year, and it makes me so happy to think about. So I've just been lighting all of my fall candles. Like, in fact, let's just do a little candle haul of all of my favorite candle scents. So, of course, we have Leaves, which is one of my favorites. And then I have one from last year that's called Pumpkin Woods. It really smells like pumpkin and like a campfire. It is such a good scent. And then the last one I have, which may be my all-time favorite scent, is Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin. Because this is like autumn and Christmas with the pumpkin and the cinnamon, so I love this one. But I think I'm going to light the Leaves one that I just got today. So yeah, that is all for now, and I am going to get to reading. It is now about 7:30 in the evening, and I have not made as much reading progress as I was hoping to today. After the last time I talked to you, I had to go back out into the pouring rain, and then after I ate dinner, I had to go back to the grocery store, which is like 20 to 30 minutes away, so that took even more time out of my reading. But I have been reading this for a couple of hours in the afternoon, probably not, maybe like an hour. And I'm now, I think, like 198 pages into it. So basically 200 pages, which means I have about 128 pages to go, which I'm really, really hoping I will finish tonight. If I don't, I'm going to be so disappointed in myself because I really, really want to complete all of the challenges. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying this book. This is probably one of my least favorite Casey West novels, which, not to say I'm not still super duper enjoying it, but just not as much as some of her other stuff. I just feel like nothing particularly exciting is really happening, and we're not making a whole lot of progression in like the romance aspect of it, which, let's be real, is one of the only reasons that I really read contemporary romance, is for the romance. But yeah, that is about all for now. I will probably end this vlog tonight and then do a part 2 of the rest of BookTubeAthon. I feel like this video is already starting to get kind of long, so I might do like a little montage-y something after this clip if I do manage to finish this tonight, just to, you know, let you know that I did finish it. But yeah, that is all for now for this video, hopefully, unless I change my mind. But please, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, even though I don't know if that does anything. And subscribe if you haven't already, which pretty much doesn't do anything either. Yeah, that is all for now. I will see you in my next one. Bye!